Today's word is warning, something said or written to tell people of a possible danger, problem, or other unpleasant thing that might happen. Similar words, example, lesson, caution, notice. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 20. Again, when a righteous man turns away from his righteousness and commits iniquity, and I have placed an obstacle before him, he will die. Since you have not warned him, he will die in his sin, and his righteous deeds which he has done shall not be remembered, but his blood I will require at your hand. So let me paint this picture for you, right? If you talking to me and you getting ready to cross the street, and I see you not paying attention and the car is coming, and I don't alert you of that car, and you get hit by that car and you die, whose fault is it? Mine or yours? So we can argue all day the fact you wasn't paying attention, and we can blame you for not paying attention. But the fact I saw the car coming and I didn't say anything to you, that blood is on my hand. Not only that, the scripture also saying that that person dies in their sin and their righteousness will not be remembered. So the last thing the person will remember them for is the last wrong that they did. And that will be on my hands also. Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 6. But if a watchman sees the sword coming and does not blow the trumpet, and the people are not warned, and a sword comes and takes a person from them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood I will require from the watchman's hand. Okay, that word iniquity means gross injustice, wickedness, or sin. And it's crazy I used that car example earlier. And when I looked online, an example for iniquity, someone running into another person with their car on purpose. Another profound statement in that scripture, but his blood I will require from the watchman's hand. Now, you know, the watchman in those days used to be in the tower and watch the area for intruders or danger. So they will watch. That was their job to do, was watch. And I feel like that's profound to us because a lot of us who know better, we sit back and watch evil when it's done. And this scripture is telling us, but his blood I will require from the watchman's hand. There's a story in the Bible about a city called Sodom and Gomorrah. And the Bible often uses it to describe a wicked city. If you ever get a chance, Google Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm not going to go into all the wickedness they was doing, but it's a lot that was happening today that's happening in that city. And Abraham has a conversation with God as they're standing looking at the city. And his cousin is in that city. And he's telling God to spare the city because of his cousin is there. And he asks God, if there's 50 men, would you spare the city? And God said, if there's 50, I'll spare it. He said it. And if there's 40, would you spare it? And God said, if there's 40, I'll spare it. If there's 30, and it goes all the way down to like 10, which was basically the author telling us that there was not a soul that was to be saved in there. Everybody was wicked. And I want you to hear this passage. Then two men said to Lot, these two men was angels, whom else have you here? A son-in-law and your sons and your daughters, and whomever you have in the city, bring them out of this place, for we are about to destroy this place, because their outcry has become so great before the Lord that the Lord has sent us to destroy it. Hebrews 11, verse 7. By faith Noah, being warned by God about things not yet seen, in reverence prepared an ark for salvation of his household, by which he condemned the world and became an heir of the righteousness which is according to his faith. So we know the story of Noah when God flooded the world, but he warned them that he was going to flood it, and he built the ark, saving two of every animal, saving his family. The world didn't listen to him. They didn't believe it. And when it started to rain, the doors on the ark was shut, and it was too late, and therefore the world was destroyed. Noah was spared to rebuild mankind, and that's what the scripture is talking about. In closing, Mark chapter 13, verse 7 through 8. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be frightened. Those things must take place, but that is not yet the end. For nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places. There will also be famines. These things are merely the beginning of birth pangs. So before a woman has a baby, she has birth pains. And that's what this is saying. We are only going through birth pains. We seeing earthquakes. We seeing famines. You hear about what's going on with Russia. Previous to that, Korea. And this is like the day of Noah. A flood is coming. And this is a warning. And just like the book of Ezekiel said, it's watchmen. And we're watching these things happen and we're not saying anything. This blood is going to be on our hands. So this is your warning. They give you a notice when you come from the courthouse. They say you've been served. So you've been served. This is your notice. And like always, it's a word picture.